Miss Universe Nigeria just disrespected our girl Nyekachi Douglas once again. That's right, once again, because this is not the first time. No, it's not the first. There is a proven track record at this point. And you know what? One would assume that given the very controversial edition of Miss Universe Nigeria that they had last year, and how it all ended in such a positive way at Miss Universe 2024, one would assume that the organizer, the team behind Miss Universe Nigeria, and everyone will come together and agree that, you know what, we need the smoothest, drama-free, just uplifting edition of the pageant yet for 2025. But no, there's someone in the back saying, we don't want peace, we only want problems. And the way that we had to find out about all of this is literally through Nyekachi's Instagram page, where she just posted a video today explaining that she had the intention to join Miss Universe Nigeria 2025. She postulated herself as a candidate for Miss Universe Nigeria 2025, and later on she was contacted by the organization to be informed that she wouldn't be able to join the national pageant. Why? I'm waiting. There is literally nothing on Nyekachi's profile that would make her ineligible to compete at Miss Universe Nigeria. And that is a huge problem. Let's just get this out of the way. Nyekachi is fully eligible to compete at Miss Universe Nigeria, first of all. And not only she meets the criteria, but she is also an experienced girl that will do a great job internationally. And how do I know that? Because there is a track record. The girl competed before at Miss World, where she ended with a continental title, Miss World Africa. And not only the title and the awards and the recognition, but she also won the heart of pageant fans from all over the world that have been rooting for her to represent Nigeria once again internationally for the longest time. This happened against last year, so there is a proven track record that not only she is capable of representing Nigeria internationally effectively, but also that she has support from the people in the country, but also the international pageant community. These are facts. The other thing that I would like to mention is that if Miss Universe Nigeria is a female empowerment platform, as all of the Miss Universe national competitions are supposed to be, and the international pageant is also supposed to be, why wouldn't they welcome with open arms a woman that has not only empowered a bunch of people in her country and internationally, but that also is eligible to join the national competition? It makes absolutely no sense to me. As a platform that claims to empower women, where is the empowerment? Where is it? There's two scenarios that come to mind where the organization might have this approach and they might ask a certain candidate not to join the competition anymore. And here are the two scenarios. The first one, it's pretty simple. When you are not welcome somewhere, you know, we love Nakachi, we want to see her succeed, we want to see her represent Nigeria once again at Miss Universe. Maybe the organizer doesn't feel the same way. Maybe they don't like her, maybe they have something against her. Personal sentiments, personal emotions towards the contestant shouldn't get in the way of allowing this girl to compete if she is eligible to join the national competition. Some people were saying that they don't want her to represent Nigeria at Miss Universe because her face is already attached to the Miss World competition, given that she did so well there, and that she basically built a name and a brand for herself at Miss World. And that is true. But at the same time, I mean, when I look at the track record of some of the winners at Miss Universe, I mean, just to name a few, Catriona Gray, she competed before at Miss World. Andrea Mesa, who represented Mexico, also competed before at Miss World. Oh my God, and literally the reigning Miss Universe today, like the reigning Miss Universe, competed before at Miss Grand. All of these girls did an incredible job and had incredible placement in different pageant systems, and that didn't stop them from joining Miss Universe later on. This entire argument that we don't want her to compete because she's already attached to Miss World, it has no validity whatsoever because other girls have done it and succeeded at the same thing. We also cannot hide the sun with a finger and pretend that there hasn't been a history of conflict between Nyekachi and the organization before, as during the time that she competed at Miss World, after the competition, she was vocal about the fact that the organization didn't provide the support that she was expecting. They didn't give her the things that she felt like she deserved and that she has worked for. So I feel like because she called them out publicly, this might be a way of punishing her for that. She might be blacklisted from the organization as a whole, although the structure of the organization, it is not anymore what it used to be back in the day when she first competed and earned the right to represent Nigeria at Miss World. But nonetheless, it's the same people behind the organization. So if they have a grudge against her, the grudge will be carried regardless of what the structure of the organization is at the end of the day. From one side, it's a very sad situation because this is her dream and she has made it very clear and she has worked tirelessly for the right to represent Nigeria at Miss Universe. But then on the other side, it is also a blessing in disguise for Nyekachi because, trust me, you don't want to be around people who don't want you, who don't see the potential in you, who have negative feelings towards you. And at the end of the day, that might make her go through a similar situation to the one that she experienced when she represented Nigeria at Miss World a couple of years ago. So I don't know, this might be a blessing in disguise for her, but it really sucks that she has to give up her dream just because the organization wouldn't allow her to compete even though she's eligible, even though she meets the criteria. Now the second scenario, and this is just something that I'm gonna throw out there very lightly, but also usually when an organizer doesn't want you to compete, like precisely you, Nyekachi, we don't want you to join Miss Universe Nigeria this year, it is sometimes because there might be already an arrangement with the competition, because they already know who they want to crown this year. There's something going on behind the scenes that for whatever reason they know that this contestant shouldn't be in this year's batch because the crown is supposed to go to someone else. And I'm not insinuating, that as early as of now the competition is rigged or anything like that, by any means. But what I'm saying is that it is a known fact that Nyekachi is a fan favorite. As I said, not just because of what she does and how she carries herself within the system of Miss Universe Nigeria, but also because of the track record, what she has accomplished prior to Miss Universe Nigeria internationally, and the established fan base that she has managed to build not only within Nigeria, but also internationally. So when a candidate of that caliber, with that type of support and following, joins the competition once again, it becomes a source of pressure for the organization to crown her because, of course, this is her third attempt. So if she was to join Miss Universe Nigeria and not win for a third time, imagine the outrage, just the complaints, the allegations of cooking show and rigged competition that there will be all over the internet. So maybe this is a way for Miss Universe Nigeria to cover themselves, avoid a drama or a situation where they might be already eyeing a different candidate or a girl that maybe doesn't have as much support or hasn't already built a name for herself, and they're just kind of like, it's better if you don't join this year, or it's better if you don't join at all. But to be honest, if that was the case, they should simply say so. I mean, just call the girl, you know what, we are going a different route. Save your time, your money, and your effort. We are going with someone else. And just in the spirit of being fair to everyone, they should just appoint that person that they are eyeing or they think might be the better face for the organization, instead of having all of these girls apply for the competition and then pay for the inscription fees and buy the gowns and the shoes and prepare the performance and spend so much money, time, and effort into this thing for them to ultimately just crown whoever they want. It makes no sense at all. Now, things are getting a little bit more complex because Chidi, who is the reigning Miss Universe Nigeria, who ended up as a first runner-up at Miss Universe, did an incredible job at Miss Universe. Chidi seems to have distanced herself from the organization, and she has also publicly expressed her support towards Nyekachi. So I think this is an interesting development because honestly, especially considering the whole situation last year with Chidi when she ended up joining Miss Universe Nigeria and ultimately winning that title, we know that this was controversial for a lot of people. So some people were supporting her, some people were against it, and regardless of where you stand when it comes to this situation, I think that it's very telling that a title holder from an organization is willing to distance herself from the organizer to support a candidate who is trying to join the competition. This makes me feel that there is something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, that we haven't seen. And it just feels like, I don't know, like there's a whole scheme or like a whole conspiracy going on to make sure that Nyekachi is unable to join and ultimately represent Nigeria. I do have to say though, because I like to give flowers where flowers are due, I love the fact that Chidi is standing up for Nyekachi and that she is giving her flowers and that she is not staying silent when it comes to this, because last year it could have easily been Nyekachi's year and that ended up going to Chidi. So I'm glad to see that now when the tables have turned, Chidi is in a way standing up for Nyekachi. At the end of the day, I hope that the organization is able to come up with a clear statement about what is going on, why are they acting this way, why are they making these decisions, because anyone, and this is not just about Nyekachi because she is a loved queen or whatever, any girl who is eligible to compete in the national competition and who meets the criteria and who is able to shoulder the expenses and whatnot that are required to join the competition should be able to do so. It's supposed to be a female empowerment platform at the end of the day. So who are you to tell a girl who wants to use the platform that she is unable to just because you feel like she shouldn't do it? It's the fact that she is being denied the right to at least fight for the title, to at least join the competition and compete for the title. She might join and simply be unplaced, but at least she deserves the right to try. So Miss Universe Nigeria, if you are watching this, the statement and the explanation was needed yesterday on my desk before 8 a.m. All right? You guys let me know down below, how do you feel about this and how can we support Nakachi? Like, how can we cause some sort of change? Gosh. Okay. I'll read you down below. See you guys.